I know the woman who constructed the moon with 2 hands. With 2 hands, she let enough crescent nails stain her body with blunt scabs and silver tattoos that flood up the strength of her neck and pooled together into phases of eclipses with no meaning. Now she speaks in quiet muscles, lifting up tragedies out of concrete cemeteries, and this granite projection of wordless poured onto this cursive born out of carbon and opium. She's important. Like the circumference of the earth in one heart step she is. Sometimes. She string yards of lanterns down the hallways of lit matchsticks, burning down 6-week-old candles, and I'd carve up her biography into the red wick wax and then one arm in her back so she'd never have to see it, but inevitably have to feel it. I know when she liberate wind children from her slant job. I know when cold iris blink to the root of their birthstone. I taught her to speak to me in perfect tongues where the petals preserving imagination paint their stained glass wings themselves. And themselves I call to her, like a voice in the subconscious of the universe, peeling back layers of dialect changes like a wish for things. Now she moved rhythmic body to the flame she'd been feeding, and unzipped her hips like the burden from her blessing would spill out from within them, and she would choke on cracked bottles of surgical needles, and they would take her, unlike a lovebird, in this framed nighttime, spinning clockwise like some kaleidoscope deity, patching together each sacred palm, blooming with roadmaps of sola and swelling of infinity. So she be quiet, so she keeps silent. So she let all the secrets flow gracefully till they settle in the in-betweens, till I can settle with, I love nothing more than she. I know she who has a photograph of heaven tattooed on the insides of her eyelids. I know she who spells beauty with an L for life. I know she who be daughter of Dawnbringer. I know she who breathes. And now there's this. Ow! The poets. They sit in the back of the bus slinging words of wisdom, slinging words carved into cracked breastbone, and I cough in acknowledgement. And when I emerge, I spit rose quartz on the pavement and the gulls swarm. Sometimes I might pick scabs at feathered skin. Sometimes I might spend too long looking for rebirth. Sometimes I might whisper rhymes into your open mouth and you might swallow. Sometimes I might think a lot about thoughts. And sometimes I might stretch the wings of a dying macaw, sew the feathers to my clavicle with white thread, till my skin reddens in irritation and infection dwells from out to in. And there was a woman in the courtyard, in black lace corset, memorizing labyrinths along the sanctuary walls. She would fan rainbow wings and let incense pour from her gullet. She was rose oil, mixed with scent of ancient Syria, blinked eyes like Coptic warrior, goddess at the forefront, amethyst at her forehead, temple of Isis, widow of Osiris, mother of Horus, and she, Isis, would be slam poet, sinking teeth into rhymes about the dawning of Christ, and she would spit things like, Archangel Michael transitioned in the year of Nativity. Post-surgery, became the Virgin Mary, impregnated herself to give birth to JC, and she would internalize it. And I would think about her words delivering me from casket, her being funeral goddess, pick me out of basket, and I'm childish, just like Moses. And I spent the night in Egypt, crying tears off the balcony after throne goddess had shuffled wings to save me. Arabic demons ceased to slay me, and I still might think about macaws, and how the growth of wings from chest and shoulder blade might shield, like sword and metal, like sword and rose, like incense and myrrh, like wingspan to freedom sewn by tiny white thread, just enough to be lifted, and lifted like hawk, and rainbow warrior like destiny, and fate is buried in the eye of Robb, or the sun, maybe a